Brian, can you just explain how active has the front office been for Phoenix over the last 30 days or so?
Active and very active within this last week. They are conducting business. They're in trade negotiations right now. A lot of them are centered around Jae Crowder. Jae Crowder is a player who's available on the market right now. Whether or not there's going to be a deal for him that materializes before now and next week's trade deadline, that we'll have to wait and see. But Jae Crowder is a guy in the last year of his contract, and it's possible that they could do a deal that they would bring back more money on. And Bobby, and folks that I'm talking to, they don't get the sense that the Suns are afraid to continue to spend, that they may be spending more. It would not surprise me if the Suns get involved in the negotiations for Bojan Bogdanovic from the Utah Jazz, who is available on the market right now. Several teams are bidding for him. Also, they are negotiating, from what I've been told, with Cam Johnson on a contract extension. Now, that wouldn't affect this year's salary. That would be for down the line. But it would also indicate that they are looking to invest long-term in another player and avoid a restricted free agency situation like they had with DeAndre Ayton last year. So from a front office perspective, from the folks that I'm talking to, the Suns are operating like a championship contender looking to improve their team heading into camp.
Interesting. Does that jive with what you've heard?
Yeah, I've heard the same. And I think that what's interesting going forward is there's a question of how banned is Robert Sarver, right? Like how, if you're going to, if they have other minority owners who are going to be making calls, how quickly can they operate? How quickly can that authorization come? But is Sarver still being informed of what's going on? Is he still connected? He's not supposed to be. And then it brings us back to the issue of how the players are going to handle this. We have Media Day coming up next week. Everybody's going to get those questions. We were seeing Chris Paul put out a statement, which I thought was a big step for the leader of that team to do, and also the former head of the Players Association. And so what is the next step here? How do the players continue moving forward? This is a team with championship who was in the finals a couple years ago, championship aspirations again. And it reminds me a bit of the Clipper team when Donald Sterling had his scandal. That happened right in the middle of the playoffs. And it was incredibly hard for them to deal with right in the middle of the playoffs. They chose Doc Rivers to speak for them. In this situation, Monty Williams has spoken a lot for the Suns. We're coming right back to it at the start of a season. In some ways, it's good timing because they can address it straight on. But in other ways, it's just going to be a season-long conversation.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.